It's only a kick, a jump, a block. It's only a serve. It's only a tackle, a run. It's only for the fans. After all, it's only pressure. You got this. Adidas.
Today on CityCast Houston, residents around the city are fed up with short-term rentals like Airbnb, but can anything be done? Also, what the heck is happening with SB4? Plus, you won't believe how old these bank robbers are. And I have details on our upcoming live taping. Dynamic media personality Antre'chelle Nova joins me to recap the week in H-Town. It's Friday, March 22nd. I'm Raheel Ramzanali, and here's what Houston's talking about. Antre'chelle, good morning. How are you?
Good morning, and happy Friday, baby.
We have made it. I know it was a little wet, and by little, I mean a lot on Thursday, but we made it, and it's all good. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be a perfect day, so we can look forward to that. Now, last week, Antre'chelle, I teased a big event coming up here for the CityCast Houston podcast, and I can officially announce details. So we are going to be doing a live taping on April 5th. That's a Friday at 5:30 p.m. And you're thinking, wow, that is so cool. A live taping. You can meet the entire CityCast Houston team. Me, Carly, Brooke is going to be there as well from Hey Houston. But here is the cherry on top. We're doing it at Toyota Center before the Rockets and Heat game on April 5th. So here's the layout for you, okay? You got to buy a ticket to get into this live taping, and we have a discount code for you. It's CityCastHTX, and I have a link in there as well. I'm not going to say the link because it's going to get messy, but just go to the show notes and you'll see it. You'll have the discount code in there as well. Tickets are starting at around $36, $38. So you get a ticket. You get to go to the live taping, and then we're going to sit in section 403 together and watch the game together. Come on. Is that awesome or what?
That is super cool, guys. That's going to be so fun. I can't wait. Congratulations, CityCast. Go team.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thank you so much. We've been working hard behind the scenes to partner with the Houston Rockets to bring something great for our listeners. So again, a ticket gets you entry into the 5:30 live taping. We're going to have some special guests. Then you stick around and watch the game. How about that? I mean, you cannot beat that. It's going to be a blast. We can't wait. Get your tickets right now. They are linked in the show notes, and we have details in there as well.
Ooh, that's exciting. Now, Raheel, I'm a little bougie. It's section 403 in the nosebleeds. What if I want to see the live taping, but I don't want to sit in section 403?
No worries at all. You use that code, you'll get a discount for any seat inside Toyota Center that is available. So you don't have to sit with us. No biggie. Our feelings won't be hurt, but we're just doing section 403 to make it really accessible for everybody. But if you're bougie like Antre'chelle, put in that code and you can get a discount anywhere in Toyota Center for that April 5th game. And we are pumped. So hope to see you there. If you don't want to sit with us again, our feelings won't be hurt, but you should be at the live taping. That's going to be a blast.
That's going to be so fun. Ooh, excited.
Okay, Antre'chelle, let's get to our biggest stories of the week. You start us off.
Baby, breaking news. If you haven't already heard by now, the little rascals have been arrested by the FBI. Now, I am not talking about Spanky and Alfalfa, baby. I am talking about 3 young boys, ages 11, 12, and 16, have been dubbed the little rascals, and they have been arrested by FBI for allegedly robbing a Wells Fargo bank. This is serious because I used to be an employee of Wells Fargo, and baby, that's a hard bank to rob. Do you understand me? Any bank is hard to rob, but do you know to be 11 and 12 to rob a bank? The nerve that you got to have for that. But listen, according to the Houston FBI, 3 juvenile boys were taken into custody and are now facing charges in connection with a bank robbery that happened March 14th. That was last Thursday. And this happened right after 3 p.m. at a Wells Fargo on the North Freeway at West Road. And that was right around the Greensport area over in my hood. You understand? Now, I am so sad because they threatened a bank teller and they were believed to be armed. That's the thing. How did y'all rob these children, rob a bank, and they're not even certain if these kids were armed or not. But I can tell you this much. Reportedly, 2 of the 3 boys, their parents came forward and identified them. Great
Mm.
job, parents, because that would have been me. I would have had Antre'chelle Nova by his ear, took him straight to the authorities, okay? I don't care what you say about me. My child would not be participating in anything like this. Now, the third boy was later identified and taken into custody after being handled by another law enforcement agency following a fight. So he was into something else. Now, according to Harris County Sheriff's Office, authorities ended up recovering a weapon and a distinctive item pictured in one of the surveillance photos released by FBI Houston. They are now in custody. We don't know what could happen, but they're trying to figure out if the 3 boys are found guilty, could they face probation until they turn 18 or face juvenile prison until they're 19, per the criminal defense attorney, or could the 16-year-old boy be charged as an adult? We don't know, but it's probably not likely. What you think about that?
Yeah, one of the quotes in that story, it was fascinating to learn that they were thinking an adult might be involved, right? Because
Yes.
it was too sophisticated for these kids to just come up with this plan and execute it to perfection. And the reason that is because kids face a less severe punishment, right? So adults get these kids to commit crimes and they split the cash or whatever their agreement is. And that's the scary part, is that these kids are being taken advantage of, if that's the case, right? We don't know.
We don't know.
Good on those parents, by the way. Once they saw the pictures and they started circulating, they turned them in. They said, we're not doing this.
We're not having it. And it's embarrassing, right? It's embarrassing as a parent. Shoot, it's embarrassing when my son don't say hi to somebody. So just imagine if my child was robbing a bank. Furthermore, I totally agree with you on an adult being involved. Case in point, a month ago, there was a robbery 2 houses down from me, where children were robbing or trying to break into Kias. There's a TikTok going around showing people how to break into Kias. And there were some children breaking into a Kia. My neighbor saw them and stopped them, shot at them. Let me just say that. And come to
Wait,
find
the neighbor
out.
shot at the kids or the kids shot at the neighbors?
Oh, no, child. My neighbor shot at them, baby. We don't play that in my cul-de-sac, okay? And then my husband chased them. Now, just to let you know, just a little backstory. We don't play, but we got them things on us, okay? We don't play that in our cul-de-sac. Our cul-de-sac is safe, and we don't have them kind of problems. So that was the first sign of offense in our little area, because it's safe where we are, right? Because we're protected by the community. But when my husband chased those young boys down, he saw them jump into a car. So there was a getaway driver, and he perceived those boys were very young, and he saw the driver, who appeared to be an adult, probably in their early to late 20s.
Yeah, that's the crazy part. Is that just kids being kids? Are they being stupid because they saw that TikTok and they've got an older driver, like, a senior in high school or whatever it may be, right? Or is it organized crime in that these adults are putting together rings, right? And that's something that we'll have to wait and see. But wow, I mean, the age of those young boys going into the bank, presenting that note and walking out with an undisclosed amount of cash, that just doesn't seem like boys being boys and kids being boys and doing stupid things. That seems like something else was at play.
Yep, it's a lot. It ain't safe. Y'all be careful. Treat your children better. And if you have a chance to be a mentor to a underprivileged child or youth in trouble, help them the right way. Don't take advantage of them. That's crazy.
Okay, I'm going to get to my biggest story, Antre'chelle, and we knew this was going to get messy, and it was a week of mess when it came to SB 4, which is the law that allows any law enforcement officer in Texas to arrest migrants suspected of entering the country illegally and empowers judges to order their removal. Now, here's why it was a wild week, because for 9 hours, SB 4 became a law. until the appeals court said, no, actually, it's not going to go into effect. So for 9 hours, it was in effect. And look, right now, it is not a law. So Governor Abbott said, even without SB4, Texas has the legal authority to arrest people coming across the razor-wired barriers on our border, and we will continue to use our arrest authority and arrest people coming across the border illegally. So Governor Abbott is not backing down. The state of Texas is not backing down. Now let's go to the court side of this, Antre'chelle, because Texas Solicitor General Aaron Nielsen says this is uncharted because we don't have any cases on it during arguments over the law before the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals, which is weighing whether to keep the law on hold. Nielsen could not answer several enforcement scenarios, and this is where it gets messy because if there is no formula for this, if there's no scenarios that you can point to and say, okay, what if this happens, that happens? Because you can't just put a law into place, right? You have to know how to execute this, and you have to put out a guideline for local agencies as well. One more layer to make this a little bit messier, there are certain local agencies, not here in Houston, but around Texas, they're saying, I don't think we're going to enforce this. So like they are fighting back as well. This is going to be a mess. And this is something that could get resolved by the time you finish this episode, or it might not be resolved for another month or so, or even longer. It might never become a law. This is nuts.
This is crazy. And I'm not even a political girly, but this is drama upon drama upon drama. And how do we handle this? Like, is this going to be another case where Abbott is going to stand alone and say, this is what we're doing and this is just what it is around here? What's going to happen? Oh, this makes me sad.
Yeah. And what happens here in Houston, right? Will HPD, the constable, sheriffs, local agencies, are they going to say, yeah, we're enforcing this? Or are they going to say,
right,
yeah, a law is a law. But let's say if a car, rolls a stop sign and a cop sees it, does he have to pull them over?
Right.
No. Right. So are they going to enforce it? This is going to get wild. This is about to get super political. And there's other things that need to be fixed in our state, in our city, in our country. Yet this one keeps getting brought up. And look, Governor Abbott and his arm, they are really making this a big deal. Immigration has always been a big deal. But can we fix other stuff around the state?
Right. I think there's other things that could take more precedence than this. But but that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know. My brain is bubblegum drops and rainbows. So this just makes my head hurt. It makes my left temple start bumping.
I agree. And look, yes, we need to figure out a solution on a national, state, local, all that stuff level with immigration. Yes. But can we do it in a way that it's not just a political game and not just trying to score points in an election year? That's what it seems like. So this is a story that we've talked about all year long. It's going to get messy. It's going to be something we're talking about a lot as well. So we'll keep our eye on it.
Let's keep watching it. Keep on watching.
Shipping can make or break a sale, so optimize how you ship your orders with ShipStation. They make it easy to automate and manage orders no matter how big your business grows. And they might even be able to help reduce shipping and warehouse costs. So optimize and keep up your momentum for growth with ShipStation. Sign up for your free 60-day trial now at ShipStation.com and use the code POD. That's ShipStation.com with the code POD.
This episode is brought to you by JLL. Get an insider view into the world of commercial real estate with JLL's podcast, Trends and Insights, the Future of Commercial Real Estate. Whether you're curious about making cities more sustainable, the evolution of office space, or AI opportunities, this podcast will help keep you a step ahead. Tune in for candid conversations with business leaders about the biggest trends impacting how we live, work, and play. Subscribe to Trends and Insights now at jll.com/podcast.
All right, let's get to our most overlooked story. Antre'chelle, I know you've got a good one here. What do you got?
This is a big story, but it's overlooked because I don't think people realize how much their voice matters. Because if they did, we would have more control over the Houston Rodeo. Houston Rodeo, it hasn't even been gone a week. And the Houston Chronicle has published the fantasy list of the Houston Rodeo 2025.
Ooh.
The set list, they have made it clear who they want. And this is why I feel like this is the overlooked story, because if Houstonians take to social media and start blasting who they wanted,
Okay.
it could really go down. The rodeo commissioners, they will have to take a listen and say, okay, y'all, we got to listen to the people. Now,
Hold on. Let me guess here because I haven't seen this list.
okay, let's see
Can
if you're right.
I attempt to guess what
Yes.
Houstonians want? Do you have that for me?
I got it, but I'm going to
Okay.
write down your picks and see how
Okay.
many points you get. Okay, let's go.
Okay. Number one has to be Beyonce, right? No matter what happens, if it's the rodeo, if it's just a concert weekend in Houston, we got to put Beyonce in there.
Okay.
Okay. Number two, Meg Thee Stallion,
Okay.
right? She has to be there. Shout out to Meg. She is going to be in there. I'm going to say Bun B again.
Okay.
All right. After that, I don't know. Like, who else do we want? Like, who's on the wish list? Because the country artists are going to come through, right? We're trying to get these big headliners. So you got to have a Houston angle, maybe a little country angle. I would love to see Krungbin, which is a local Houston band. I don't think that's on the list, but they're dropping a new album. I can't wait. Who else is on there for the Houstonians wish list?
Okay, so you have named 4 people. Okay. And of course, the number one person is Beyonce. Of course. Now, I, like everybody else, soon as she announced Cowboy Carter, we all was like, she got to be at the rodeo. Everybody was even thinking she was going to make an appearance in Bun B's for the All-Stars, right? Of course she didn't. But I think if the Queen Bee is going to do it, she got to do it all by herself. Just the only way she know how. And it's going to be live and great. Every time Beyonce has been at the rodeo, I have been there, darling. And it is phenomenal. Now,
hot take. I don't think Beyonce would be good at the rodeo now. It
Shut
would not
up.
work because
Don't you say that.
because her production is too big for the rodeo. You can't
Listen.
rodeo. You only get 1 hour. Okay, the set you cannot change it. It is what it is. Queen Bee, no matter what, like it would not make sense to bring her there. I like the way that she had it. Like, go on tour, give us 3 hours, have this magical production, take over NRG, and make it your own. I don't want her to be part of the rodeo. She's too big for it.
But you have to understand, the rodeo is a chance for people who can't go and afford to go to concerts, right? This is their only chance.
You think those tickets are going to be cheap?
Hell no, but at least it's still a $50 Beyonce ticket or $75 Beyonce ticket is the equivalent of a $200 Mrs. Carter ticket or a Renaissance ticket.
Gotcha.
You right?
Okay.
Do you see what I'm saying? And as a little girl who, before I had a little change in seeing Beyonce at the rodeo in the nosebleeds, or even seeing her in the high rise at $100, that was a steal for me. And the last time she was in the rodeo, I saw that same show 3 different times, once in New Orleans, once in Houston, and at the rodeo. And you're right. It just gives them a sneak peek into what the show is. You still leave wanting more. So therefore, it actually would equate to more ticket sales because they're only seeing a condensed version of the mega show. So yes, Beyonce, top of the line. Everybody wants Beyonce. Guess who else they want?
Who?
Dolly Parton.
Oh, okay.
Dolly Parton.
I didn't know Dolly was still touring, so that'd be pretty cool to see her come by. Yeah.
The reason why they picked her is because Dolly Parton hasn't performed at the Houston Rodeo since 1978.
Oh, wow.
And look at all that she has involved. She is the biggest star in country, and she has only been to the Houston Rodeo once.
You gotta bring Dolly back. Come on,
you
Dolly.
Gotta bring her back.
Look, that's a good one right there. You can do a Dolly Parton best of in 1 hour.
Okay, look, that's who I think is too big for the rodeo. It would be hard to put on that stage because, she's a theme park. She's a moment. She's Dolly Parton land, okay?
Yeah, but her best of catalog, I think you could do in an hour. And like the production, I don't think is as big. I'm not sure, but I don't think a Dolly Parton production is like a Queen Bee production.
It's not, but still. All right, Raheel, you were right. Meg Thee Stallion was on the list.
Has to be.
Right. Miley Cyrus is on the list. They're even looking for a Selena tribute. They're asking for Adele. They even threw BTS in there for Pop Culture
Oh,
Night. Yeah. And Bad Bunny. Now, they even threw in Tim McGraw and Faith Hill.
okay.
The list is good. They even got Shania Twain. But if you really want to look at all who they have, they even threw in Diana Ross, you guys, and Fantasia. The
Mm.
list is good. The list is really, really, really good. Now, Bun B is not on the list, and your Crumpin, they're not on the list
Yeah,
either.
they wouldn't be on there. There's no way. Yeah, look, they are Houston, but they're not. They're actually the perfect band. Like, you want to be right on the cusp of being huge, and they are huge in certain circles, but they aren't huge mainstream yet, right? Like, they don't have radio plays. So those are the kind of artists you want, like, that could take them to the next level as playing the rodeo. I love Bad Bunny. I
Yeah.
would hate to see Bad Bunny at the rodeo because I would only get an hour. You're right. They don't change that rule for anybody, which frustrates me. Like, you need 3 hours of these mega stars, right, to get their whole catalog. But then you're right. The ticket prices wouldn't be affordable. It would just turn into a normal show. Let's see what that list looks like next year when they officially announce it. I can't wait to see the 2025 year.
I can't wait to see who out of this list was going to officially make it. And I hope the rodeo commission listens to this list, because this list is good. This list is good.
They're going to have to sell a lot of $1 million cows for that one, right? Because it's expensive to book some of these artists now. Okay, Antre'chelle, I know you're going to love this one because there is some drama happening with short-term rentals here in H-Town. So obviously we all know what Airbnb, Verbo, all these property rental sites are, right? Well, they're impacting and interfering with people's lives. Patricia Ortiz of 88.7 had really interesting stories about how some residents are, seeing things that they shouldn't be seeing and being involved with things that they shouldn't be involved in because of these short-term rentals. For example, one neighbor saw adult movies being filmed at a short-term rental, prostitution occurring, crazy parties. We've heard about these, right? Like,
Yeah.
people just come over, take over a house or an apartment rental and just party and make a mess and make noise all night long because they're just using it like a hotel. Well, Houston doesn't have any sort of regulation on short-term rentals, and it might be hard to because cities like San Antonio and Dallas have tried, but they both failed. New York City is the only one that has like this super tight ban where you have to register. You have to be on property if you are renting out your property, and only 2 guests are allowed. So, no more parties, no more wild and crazy stuff happening. Now, residents in Houston are arguing that the city should be able to regulate short-term rentals by treating them like hotels through the hotel ordinance. Now, in my old house, we had a party house. That's what we called it in our cul-de-sac. And it became so bad, you had cars zooming down the street in this cul-de-sac, and we have 5 8-year-olds living on the street. You had them doing donuts at the end of the cul-de-sac, and we had to get the HOA involved, and they put a ban on Airbnbs in our neighborhood. Now, are people still renting it? I don't know. You still see these parties roll up, but this is a big issue across the city and neighborhoods, not only in Houston, but in the suburbs as well. Something has to be done because, look, there's no reason to have these short-term rentals interfering with people's lives.
I totally agree. There is an Airbnb on my street. Okay. It's like she's actually 3 doors down, 3 houses down from us. We don't have any problems with her or with them, but they have had to put a stop to it because there was a large party there and it got a little crazy. Okay, got a little crazy. And now she has moved in and now she's living there and made herself known to the neighborhood. But I totally agree. We do need to I don't want to say put a stop to it because I'm never going to mess up your money, but we do need to have some restrictions.
Yeah.
I do feel like the property owner does need to do a stop by or a ride by or a drive by or even hire local security to come and check on the house. And if it's not up to par, you got to get out immediately. I don't care where you came from. I said no parties. I said no more than this many people here. This is what's up. And then is it an invasion of privacy if they have cameras and they check it in the house, right?
That's another one. Yeah, that's the other big thing. That's, people are trying to figure out, like, are cameras allowed in there, right? Because, if it's a family and you're doing things right by the law, then why are you spying on me, right? I like the idea of Airbnbs, and I think initially it started with the right idea, right? You can rent out space that you have, but it turned into an investment opportunity. It turned into party houses, right? and it has ruined what Airbnb what I thought was initially started for, right? Like for families renting it. Like I
Agreed.
like renting an Airbnb because we have kids. I don't want to rent 2 hotel rooms. I don't want
Right.
to sleep in the same hotel as them because they go to sleep early. I want to watch the movies, whatever it is, right? Like you want that space. So this is something that the city's going to have to figure out in surrounding areas as well.
But it's crazy that we have to do that because it puts people like you and I, like we rent Airbnbs every year for my son's birthday in
Mhm.
Galveston, right? What if they started putting those restrictions and start asking for things? Thank God I have a good Airbnb rental history, right? But look at us, with these families, and we're going to probably have to suffer for these people who have abused, the very intent of
Yep.
why this was created. I don't like it.
All right, Antre'chelle, let's end on a high note. Let's get to our moment of joy. What do you got for us?
Man, it's been so much joy this week. I got two that just really took me
Ooh,
or blew me away. And here we
I
go.
love it. Go for it.
So first things first, have you seen the picture of the NASA engineer who made it official that he works for NASA, and he posted his NASA headshot and he had locks. Beautiful bright skin, nice, real clean cut guy with locks, and Twitter went crazy. Everybody was saying, I can literally see myself working there. Like, wow, dreams really do come true. The sky's the limit. And then it got better. Another Black NASA employee posted his photo, and then it just started going crazy.
What?
Black NASA employees started a community and started posting their employee headshots for NASA, and it just went crazy. And it was just such a beautiful moment for Black Twitter, and not just Black Twitter, for Houston and for the Black children in STEM, particularly my child, who was able to clearly see that this is who I can be if I continue to work hard. It was a beautiful thing. And somebody's son had dressed up as another Black astronaut, but the boy looks just like Tyrone Jacobs Jr., the gentleman who started the trend. And it was just a beautiful thing. That just brought me
It's
so
so cool.
much joy. That's cool. Representation really does matter, ladies
It
and gentlemen.
matters so much. And by the way, Isaiah Carey did an interview with him, and his backstory, I was watching it live and I got teary-eyed. It was
No
so
way.
good. Yeah, I will link that. Everyone can watch it. It is an incredible story of perseverance, of overcoming odds and chasing your dreams. So shout out to Tyrone Jacobs Jr. That is beautiful to hear. And yes, representation does matter. Every time we go to NASA events, it is so cool seeing South Asian women representing, because I show my daughter, I'm like, look, you're going to be the first girl on Mars. You need to see that this is possible. You can work at
Yes.
NASA. She hates that. She never wants to leave me. She's like, I don't want to go to Mars because I don't want to leave you. But representation does matter, because when
It
you see somebody
does.
like you doing something that eventually you want to do, it
Mhm.
empowers you and can help you take it to the next level. What's your
Yeah,
second story?
The second story is dun da da da. Y'all know I love crawfish. Y'all know I love crab. You know I love a good old seafood boil. And one of my favorite restaurants is Lotus Seafood. And they're famous for their crack sauce. But ladies and gentlemen, guess what?
What?
You don't have to come to Houston for the crack sauce, because they about to sell the crack sauce nationwide.
What?
By the bottle, 16 ounces. Boom. It's going down. Ladies and gentlemen, the crack sauce is something many Lotus customers like to use on a whole bunch of dishes, not just seafood, but it is so good. And if you have it on that fried lobster, baby, it's going to change your life. And on the wings, so good. They will launch the sauce at all the Houston Lotus Seafood locations and online. If you have never tasted this crack sauce, Lotus has 5 locations. They have one in Pearland, one in Bissonnette, one off Kirkwood, one off of Veterans Memorial, and one in Stafford. Find you a Lotus Seafood.
Okay.
Go
I'm
taste this
going.
crack sauce. You got to go. Have you ever been?
Antre'chelle, I've never been. I always drive by it, and I know it's good. I know it's good. I
It's
just
good.
never have stopped in. I need to stop delaying it. I need to go get the crack sauce. I see everyone raving about it, including you. So I need to stop. But shout
good.
out to them. That is awesome that they are launching the sauce and they're selling it online. Love hearing that.
I love it. You're going to love it. And get some crawfish, get some crab. Just try the sauce. It's so good.
You gonna give me a second mortgage for that crawfish?
Listen, that's none of my
It's
business. It's a
expensive.
luxury. It's a luxury.
All right, my moment of joy. I talked about it on our guide for March in Houston, and it is the Kite Festival. The International Kite Festival is this weekend in Sugarland. It's going to be beautiful weather. I can't wait to go out there, fly our trusted old 6-year-old kite now, and somehow, some way, it's going to go up. It's just my way. It's like my moment in time, right? Like I know spring is here. I go to this festival, I enjoy it, and having the kids run around, seeing everybody, it's a blast. So I'm doing that. It's my moment of joy. I can't wait. It's going to be a good weekend. Antre'chelle, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. Enjoy your weekend as well.
I shall. Thank you for having me. See y'all next time.
That was Antre'chelle Nova. All the stories and links to our April 5th live taping are linked in the show notes. That will do it for this week here on CityCast Houston. Our producers are Carleon Jones and Joyce Tang. Our newsletter editor is Brooke Lewis, and the host is me, Raheel Ramzanali. Our music is by the band All the Kimonos. We'll be back on Monday with a look at how you can protect yourself from cyber and phone scams. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something new.
It's bad. I didn't even comb my hair. Didn't even comb my hair. I said, for what?